Good evening, this is the Owen James Report. NCB's Managing Director Patrick Hilton has noted that while NCB and other local financial firms have been promoting the global trend of no-fees customer self-service, the cost of various international and national regulations on banks have exploded. Hilton was addressing the issue at Friday's investor briefing.
The cost of compliance in terms of putting in place frameworks and networks, the cost of AML, anti-money laundering, putting in place frameworks and anti-money laundering systems and being able to recognize and making sure that there are checks and balances and so on. A few years ago, people were making the point that the only area in the banking system that was growing in terms of numbers of people, in terms of spend and so on, was the compliance part of it, right? You see that the banks have invested heavily in new technological capabilities, which is expensive. At the same time, the fact that we're in a low interest rate environment means also that the yields that the bank used to enjoy on their asset side has also reduced, right? So we face the same thing, spread compression on the one hand, and on the other hand, what we are seeing is an increase in expenses in terms of the infrastructure and so on that we have to put in place.
There's no shortage of foreign exchange, as evinced by the continuing trend of sales being lower than purchases on the foreign exchange market. Licensed financial firms bought $51 million and sold $39.7 million, or 23% less than what they bought. In actual trading, July 31, the US and the Canadian dollars weakened against the Jamaican currency while sterling strengthened. The greenback weakened by 16 cents Jamaican at an average selling rate of $128.22 Jamaican, while the Canadian dollar declined by 25 cents Jamaican at $103.08. However, sterling strengthened by 64 cents Jamaican to an average selling rate of $167.54. News on the stock market now, where gains by heavily traded stocks 138 Living, Sagicor's Real Estate X Fund, and Express Catering boosted the Jamaica stock market indices today. The combined index gained over 1,200 points, or 0.5%, while both the main JSE and select indices gained 0.75% and 1% respectively. In bullish activity, 47 stocks traded, with 24 advancing, 17 declining, and 5 holding firm. Now, market volume amounted to almost 29 million shares, worth $247 million. The real estate entities, 138 Student Living and Sagicor's Real Estate X Fund, and culinary tourism entity Express Catering dominated trading. Now, the winners included 138 Student Living, Express Catering, JMMB Group, Jamaica Producers, Jamaica Stock Exchange, Lasco Financial Services, Medical Disposables, Main Event, Panjam Investment, Pulse, Scotia Group, Sagicor Group Jamaica, and Sagicor's Real Estate X Fund. The losers included Caribbean Cement, Grace Kennedy, Kingston Wharves, Lasco Manufacturing, Paramount Trading, down almost 16%, and T-Tech Limited. The small but high-end investment firm Sterling Investments is reporting 6-month trading gains of over 337%, fueled mainly by investments in global bonds. Director of Sterling Investments, Charles Ross, attributes this to the firm's growth strategies employed over the past 5 years. Sterling says the gains were also buttressed by positive economic data and political outcomes in Europe and the United States. Net interest income, Sterling Investments' primary source of income, amounted to $38 million, or 1.5% higher than the corresponding 6-month period in 2016. Now, during the same period, Sterling's total assets increased by 18% to $1.1 billion. That's the Owen James Report. Good evening.